My dear people of Southern Cameroons, my dear people of Ambazonia, accept liberation greetings from me, Comrade John Ba Akuro. You must have noticed that I'm in delocalization. That is why I'm doing this special broadcast, not from within the confines of my studios. I know that our hearts are still filled with a lot of pain and anguish. I know that even with the advent of the Christmas season, there is no respite for our people on ground zero. A lot of whom are still in the forests, a lot of whom are without a place to live in, a lot of whom are in need of food and medication, a lot of whom are in need of warm clothing to at least protect themselves from the serious cold that comes at night during this season. My people, that notwithstanding, it is still essential to say a happy Merry Christmas to each and every one of us. Why do we still need to say a happy Merry Christmas, even in the midst of all this pain and anguish, in the midst of this suffering, in the midst of want, and in the midst of torture? Because Christmas comes with hope. Because the significance of Christmas is, should I say, it's rooted in hope. Hope that things will always be better tomorrow than they are today. Hope and belief that with patience, with resilience, and with enormous courage, there will always be someone that will step in at some point to give us a helping hand as we seek to leave the valley of pain and cross into the promised land of happiness and joy, where generations upon generations of Southern Cameroonians will live and remember the sacrifices of those who have gone before us, of those who are still in the bushes right now, offering their lives, and of those who are everywhere around the world today, contributing in one way or the other to ensure that we get this freedom that we seek. My people of the Southern Cameroons, this special broadcast is intended to urge our people, wherever they may be, even in pains, to at least make merry and thank God, to engage in praise, because praise has proven to be very effective in moving the hearts of those people who perhaps are still standing on the fence, of touching the heart of our Creator, on whom we count constantly to have the grace that is required for us to do things right in this liberation movement. My people, the task before us is enormous, very enormous, but trust me, we all are Southern Cameroonians, men and women, the old and the young, both those who are on ground zero and those who are in the diaspora. We have what it takes to achieve our dream. We have what it takes to successfully get La République du Cameroon out of our land. We have what it takes to do it in fewer years than others before us have done. To do it with less pain than others before us did. My people of the Southern Cameroons, my people of Ambazonia, you would notice that even as I seek to encourage each and every one of us to at least observe a moment of merrymaking this day, my heart is still filled with pain at the things that are unfolding on our territory. And then while we are brooding in all this, some people are there busy preparing on the African continent that they are coming to celebrate a football jamboree in our land, where people have been asked to stay home from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. during a festive season, where markets are being shut down on grounds that the security of those going to do business cannot be ensured, when a murderous government is planning or is legislating to impose a tax on our people's earnings in the forms of jangi, where they put together their money to help themselves. And this will be money that have been taxed before, and that the remainder in the hands, which is their own portion, is what they contribute gradually, put together, so that it will help them to achieve some kind of serious projects and improve their lots. That is what the government of La République du Cameroon is intending to begin taxing from January 2022. Listen, my people, as much as it's a laughable initiative, it is a direct, listen to what I say, it is direct evidence that the economic pains we intended La République du Cameroon to witness are real. It is direct evidence that the cost of occupation is getting ever great by the day. It is direct evidence that the colonizer is running out of options. Because, like I pointed out in my last broadcast, they are finding it today more and more difficult to have the money they require to execute projects, to pay the business people that do business with government, to even pay their civil servants. And like I said, because it is a government with very misguided and evil intentions, they are today focused more on increasing the pains on those who are even the most vulnerable. That is why they have started their secret pay cuts rather on pensioners, on people who are already on retirement. All this are a clear indication, my people, that we are on the right path. There is need for us to recognize at this point, therefore, that with the advent of the Christmas season, generally comes forgiveness, comes reconciliation, comes, the desire to reboot, to refresh, to reset, so that you begin to feel differently and to do things differently. Let us therefore, as a people, recognize that the urgency of the moment in the southern Cameroons is for us to begin a very important healing process among ourselves, so that the tearing apart that we are seeing now in the various groups, movements, and organizations in this liberation struggle will not have the kind of effect that La République du Cameroon and France expect that they will have on our movement. Listen, people, we have gone round and round, and today it is clear, and we can all see it, the writings on the wall, that the best approach in prosecuting this liberation movement is synergy. Which synergy will only be real if we determine to recognize that we all have made errors and decide that it is time for a healing process to begin, and recognize that we need to forgive one another, and recognize that we are bound to work together to achieve this objective. My people, we must not love each other. We are not here in romance, but we have to work together. It hasn't got to do with sentiments. It has got to do with our objective. The simple recognition of the fact that as a people, whether we like it or not, we didn't bring ourselves together. We are together. We have a common destiny. We all have a common objective, that of freedom. And we therefore must converge around that which unites us and pay less attention to that which divides us further. I have spoken about this over and over and over, but I'm taking the opportunity of the Christmas season to call for a collective consciousness on the part of all the stakeholders in this liberation movement that we need to contribute our own quota, each one wherever you are, to ensure that the healing process that is required goes on genuinely, and that we come up with a strategy, a collective strategy that will enable us to make 2022 a year different from 2021. Make no mistake, in 2021, we scored a lot of points. I say in 2021, we scored a lot of points. In 2021, we made citizens of La République du Cameroon to begin paying attention to what is happening in the southern Cameroons. We forced citizens of La République du Cameroon to begin recognizing that we are not pushovers, to begin respecting us, and to begin seeing for themselves that their mighty be and others will on a daily basis be reduced to scouts on our land. My people of the southern Cameroons, increasingly, citizens of La République du Cameroon are calling on their government to begin thinking of pulling out of the southern Cameroons. Increasingly, families of those scouts and thugs that Mr. Abia sent to bring pain to our people are calling on their sons and daughters to do the right thing, which is deserting and seeking freedom in other lands. Increasingly, citizens of La République du Cameroon are understanding that the southern Cameroons will be free, whether they like it or not. They are beginning to come to terms with the fact that mighty France and La République du Cameroon put together cannot outdo the determination and the resilience of the people of the once independent state of the southern Cameroons. So therefore, my people, we must capitalize on these gains. And there is no better way to capitalize on these gains than synergizing, so that we can use 2022 to be the beginning of the final sprint towards the finish line. This I hold so dearly. I don't just talk. I am reaching out and I'm urging each and every one of you, each and every one of us, to reach out too. Let us reach out, each and every one of us, collectively, individually, in whatever way, to make sure this dream of synergizing comes true. And make no mistake, addressing the concerns of the stupid AFCON that La République du Cameroon and CAF are preparing to stage on our land is the concern of each and every southern Cameroonian, each and every Ambazonian. Don't sit back and wait that when we would have failed in doing what we need to do, we will come and blame one actor, one group, or one set of persons or the other. No. Contribute your quota. Do what you can. Because in that particular enterprise, what is more important to us is success, not the blame game. At this point, it is an entire southern Cameroon's, an entire Ambazonian affair. Not an affair of a group, not an affair of an individual, not an affair of just a few. We must do everything possible within the spheres of our capabilities to ensure that we are attain our objectives. That we get the world to see and recognize that we are hurting. That we get CAF to see and understand that we will not accept and tolerate that kind of mockery on our land. My people, I know just how much to trust on the people of the Southern Cameroons. Because when we say yes, we can, we definitely will. I don't want to draw out this message. I simply wanted to use the occasion of Christmas to alert all and sundry to the fact that making 2022 a more defining year regarding our liberation movement should be every other person's concern right now. And making sure that happens is not a matter of waiting until we get to 2022. That begins now. Once more, my people, accept my best wishes for a fantastic and Merry Christmas to each and every one of us, despite our circumstances. To God be the glory.